HHDG.
Peace, HHDG. We are on another episode of HHDG Media, the podcast. And shout out to everyone tuning in right now through our Facebook group, HHDG, also known as Hip Hop Discussion Group, as well as everyone on our YouTube channel. As always, you can go check out our website, as you can see on the bottom banner, hhdgmedia.com. Latest music, our merch is up there as well, upcoming events, as well as mixtapes done by HHDG Media Inc.'s own Rock Vader KB, which is also another members, consist of myself, Wiki, Skelly Top, Demir, and T. Smith. For tonight, we have what I would like to consider a multi-talented entrepreneur who is hip-hop in the veins, from early beginnings, that what we'll talk about. I'm not too familiar with the cities from Framingham up in Massachusetts, but he'll definitely, give me more insight to the city, as well as his early influences and what makes him tick to be so driven to be a producer, a DJ, an engineer, doing promotion, a mobile barber, and I'm sure that there's more to it than that. So we're definitely gonna get into that. And as always, when we have a guest on here, they're gonna talk about their new album. He produced the entire Thurston Howell album. Sorry, Thoughts Skillustrated. You know how Thurston likes to put the skills in there like that. I love how he does that all the time though. And we'll talk about more of his production, what he uses, and other people that he's worked with, and just have a good interview. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce the talented Matteo Getz.
Thank you. Peace. Thank you for having me. Appreciate
Definitely. And I forgot to also say you're a low head.
Yeah. Been rocking low since I was like a teenager.
Dope.
Yeah, man. How's everything? Good?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Nice.
Now, I don't want to always jump into the album, let the people get to know more about you. So you said you've been a low head since you were a teenager. So my first question is, when you were a teenager, is that when you first seen and saw the group Havoc House?
Yeah, so I'm from Framingham, Massachusetts. It's like used to be one of the biggest towns in the whole United States. Now it's a city.
Oh, okay.
In a city for like 5 years or so. So growing up, I used to, I used to live on the north side, and then all my friends were on the south side. I used to get babysat on the south side and stuff like that. My sister's 8 years older than me, so she used to have all her friends and come to my house. My house is kind of like the party house. So like it was like a house that you could go to instead of getting in trouble on the street. If they knew my sister or me, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So they came with the influence of hip hop at an early age. I was like maybe 6, 7, 8. So they used to show me breakdancing, Beach Street, push through, breaking and stuff like that. So right there, I was hooked. And Fat Boys, Run DMC, stuff like that, UTFO, Roxanne Shante, like all those type of groups when I was growing up. So I used to be a fan of it. I got like the bug then. Just a fan of hip hop, like Black Sheep was one of my favorite groups back in the day. Drez and stuff like that, and just like Wu Tang and so on and so on, Tribe Called Quest and stuff like that. So I became a big fan, and they used to come over and show me house music. You know what I mean, like freestyle music and stuff
Nice,
like that.
nice.
Like I was kind of heavily influenced on all genres of stuff, and I
Hmm.
you know I even started trying to do graffiti and break dancing, and then when I got older, like around like when I was 16, 17,
Hmm.
I copped a turntable and a mixer and like 2 crates of records with instrumentals and stuff. So then I just wanted to be a DJ from then. But like even before that, so Havoc House put out they actually put out, they were a group, and they put out actual material, like as far as like tapes. They put out tape,
Hmm.
first people to put out actual merchandise like that I seen, and I knew them from around the way, like when I was young.
Okay.
So like I knew Ajax Low and Kamal Wali, and I always wanted to work with them. And just so happened that's when I started doing the music, and then one of my childhood friends, Golden Child, he was like one of the first producers in my town, really, that I kind of grew up with, and that was a DJ too, and he was nice. So I used to be like, oh man, because he used to have a turntable and a mixer in his room, and like
Hmm.
a little one of them Doctor sampler things, the old school ones that they using now, and like
Oh yeah, yeah.
beat producer like shows or whatever. So that was like a sampler, and he would just finesse a beat like nothing. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. So I knew it was like I knew it could happen just by seeing them doing it, and then I linked up with Ajax Low and the whole Havoc House group individually as friends and just like hanging out and then doing music, and then you know Ajax Low kind of put me on. He took me under his wing.
Hmm.
I went to the studios. I was a fan of studios. Like that was my thing. Like I was like real fascinated with studios. Like if it was a studio, I was all in. I didn't care about nothing else.
The whole
I
creative
would just
process.
like soak everything up, and like
Hmm.
what they were doing when they were doing their mixtapes. So I would just be there and I just like watch and watch and watch for years and years. And then when I got my stuff, like I got a studio eventually around 2000, and then he helped me put a mixtape together. So mixtape was under a different name. I was
Hmm.
like called DJ Scarecrow at first, but then like I switched it to Matteo Getz like after that mixtape, like a year later. So like in 2000, he kind of helped me put the mixtape together, and then that's how it really all started. He showed me how to guerrilla market, like put up stickers everywhere, post posters everywhere, just basically show me how, and he even helped me get the MCs from Havoc House and people from around the way. There was another group called GTU at the time, Ghost Town Unit. So they got on my mixtape, and from there I just started mass producing them like CDs, because back then it was tapes and CDs, and CDs was just kind of brand new, kind of.
Hmm.
It was more like tapes, but then CDs started coming in, and then I just mass produced those and sold them, and then just kept going. We just kept going. We started doing albums together, like the Havoc House Declaration Appendix album, the second album of Havoc House, right after the Legacy Begins album, and just like we just kept going from there. And I've been working with Ajax Low and the whole Havoc House individually and as a
Yeah,
collectively group
that's dope.
since. And it was like basically those are the people I looked up to. Those are the people that they're basically my favorite artists. Like Ajax Low is one of my favorite MCs ever. Besides, like like Jay Z and all those other kind of guys, but like
Hmm.
they're my go to.
That's
So that's
dope,
basically how it started.
man. So you got a, a wealth of knowledge and experience, straight from the gate. But the dope part is, how you absorbed it and put forth through yourself in your own music, in your own, production and DJing and promotion and everything.
Yeah, so eventually we linked up with this engineer called Ronnie Reagan, Jeremy, aka Jeremy Page. He's done stuff with that handsome devil, part of Havoc House. That's my boy Chris. So he was in a group with him, and then that's how we linked up with him. And he basically was our engineer in the beginning. So I learned off of him too. He taught me, and then I asked him a question because I was just graduating. It was like '99. I was graduating. I said, "Yo, I came into some money from my grandfather passing. I might go to the like the AI, but I don't know if I should go there because they wanted like 30 grand to go to school. And I was like, if I buy a studio, will you teach me? And that's how it started. And he said, yeah, I'll teach you. I'll teach you. And then all right, cool. Let's work something out. And then that's how we got the studio. He helped me set it up. He taught me a little, and then I learned basically on my own after that. And we've been recording. I've been recording since there. We did numerous endless songs that I still got that we haven't really released because back then there was no internet. None of
Right.
this. The internet was fairly not even out. Wasn't anything. It
Hmm.
was like dial up almost still. Yes, it's crazy to
And
talk
you got
about
to
it.
meet everybody in person.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, what I would do is we would go to Middle East shows and Harper's Ferry shows and the Western Front at the time, and we go all these shows in Cambridge and just hustle CDs, all our CDs, and then eventually I just started DJing
So
mixtapes like every day for like a year, a couple years, around 2000. What year was that? 2010 or 11. I just started going crazy, and then I just, every time you stay away, you got to rebrand and hand out CDs and get your name back out there
back
again.
out of here. Hmm.
But then I would after that, they would just call me dude with the box. I would have a box of CDs at every show and just hustle CDs. I'll have one mixtape, a lot of them, and then every week I would do a new mixtape and just mark out all the shows and stuff like that and just go to every show and just hustle, really like promote crazy. And then I started learning how to be a graphic designer. My friend had Illustrator. I borrowed it.
Nice.
I copied it or whatever, and then I just started doing it a little bit. Because before I used to just write it on the CD and look mad like cheap. So you know what? I'm just gonna learn, and then that's how I started learning doing logos, CD covers. So what I'm doing now. That's
Wow.
basically how I started.
Mm-hmm. Now, to be so driven like that, was there any before hip hop? Was there anyone in your household that you saw that was like
No,
this?
see, what's crazy is I'm the first to do music, and my whole household came from workers,
Hmm.
like blue collar workers. Like my father's a landscaper. Like his company was really big at the time,
Hmm.
and my grandfather was also like worked for the town in Newton, the city of Newton or whatever. Working as like a DPW person, like one of them DPW guys. And
Okay.
then my great grandfather before that, same kind of thing. So they were more into like landscaping. My father had his own successful business for a little bit, like 40, 45 years. Had one of the biggest companies called Boston Properties. They bought the Prudential. So
Oh,
they paid like they bought that building, and then they just became like a big conglomerate spot. My dad had it for 45 years till he got rid of the company or whatever and retired. But that's how basically I'm the only one in my media family that did
mhm.
music. I was just a fan of DJing. Like
Okay.
I did, like when I first started DJing, I used to get those DMC tapes, like
Oh yes,
VHS tapes,
the
not like
VHS. Yeah.
yeah, not a CD and nothing, and one of them VHS tapes. And I used to love Cash Money. Cash
Oh,
Money was my
nice.
favorite, and I remember seeing A Track when he was 15, winning.
Yep.
And I used to go to Biscuit Head Records. My man Master Millions used to be up in there. My man DJ Bruno. So I used
Mm,
to cop records all the time in Boston every week. Then I used to go to New York and go to Rock and Soul and stuff like
there
that.
you go.
So I was big for I used to DJ like parties in Framingham High and stuff like that, and just like parties or whatever, like around the waist type of stuff. But then that's where I got the DJing hustling from. I used to carry crates of records. I used to have like mad crates of records. It was tough back then. You had to carry everything.
Everything.
Now it's so
See,
much easier.
I can relate because my uncle is the one that got me into DJing. So
Yeah,
before I ever DJ at a party with him, that was my thing. Carry the equipment.
yeah. I had to carry everything. The turntables and the carrying cases, and
Yep.
you know how heavy that is, and just
Yep.
crates of vinyl is just crazy to carry. I mean, I used to have tons of them. They're all ruined now, but 'cause I didn't take care of them. But like, you
Speakers
know,
and everything. Yeah.
yeah. But now
Good.
it's so easy. Now it's crazy with the
Yes.
Serato and the MIDI controllers and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's good for like professionals, like so they don't have to lug everything. But
Yeah.
it's insane when MP3s just came in and took over.
Took over. Yeah.
Kind of seen it. Records was kind of going down in
Hmm.
sales and stuff, and it's crazy. And now vinyl's huge again.
Yep.
It's insane. Even tapes is
I was gonna
coming
say
back
even the
for
cassette market.
collectors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy how it just kind of full circle. They always say it's gonna go, CDs are gonna go, but I'm like, yeah, I don't know, maybe,
Mhm.
maybe not.
Yeah. It's
Look how
amazing.
they were saying records was done a long time ago, way before the '90s.
And now we got people digging in other countries.
Yeah,
See?
yo, it's crazy. It's kind of nuts. But
Yeah. But you definitely got to give your father and your grandparents and everything their credit too, because they definitely had that determined, driven, you know,
yeah, they had
mentality.
the they had the hustle
Even
spirit.
though they were laborers, they still had it. And here
Yeah,
you are the same way. You're driven that way.
yeah, they had the hustle spirit, and then Ajax Low put the battery on my back, and I would just want to keep carrying the torch. I keep pushing him to do more. Like we got tons of albums working on that we're working on, and Kamar Wali, my other boy, my other peoples from Havoc House, and just my solo albums. I got another album with Etel from Boston. I'm doing stuff. I did stuff with Headshots in Boston. Like, I did when I started going to shows, I started meeting people and going
Hmm.
backstage and meeting legends and just building with them. Like I did stuff with Shaheen, KRS-One, through my man from Canada, Halifax. And just like meeting tons of people like MOP, I know them, like, Sean Price, Smith and Wesson, like those are my peoples. Like I known them since I was like teenagers. Like just meeting them, going there, like it's crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah, man.
I gotta. I also have to give a shout out to King Arthur, who's also from your
Yeah,
hometown.
yeah, yeah, yeah. King Arthur,
Boy, wow.
that's my guy right there. He gets busy. He's
Yep.
nice, sharp.
And I know you and have worked with him with Ajax Low as well.
Yep, yeah, yeah, yeah. He had a group called the Cadets. So they were
Mm-hmm.
under us. So it was like Havoc House, and then I kind of like came just on the cusp of Havoc House, and then I was with them, and then they were like kind of underneath because they were kind of younger than us a little bit.
Hmm.
They're like maybe 5 years younger than us or something like that. But yo, they got busy too. His whole crew's nice. Adept, Indy Jones, S Jones. Like it's crazy. They're all nice in their own way. Tap out, King off the shop, man. He got some.
Yeah,
I put him on one of my albums too, the Yours Truly album. He got a banger on that one.
that's dope, man. So there's definitely a lot of history, for those that are tuning in Framingham. So
Yes, sir.
definitely do more research, and I appreciate Mateo, giving us more insight into his hometown.
Yes, sir.
Now, how did you become a mobile barber?
So, trial and tribulation. So we was going through some things with my family, and we had to move and stuff like that. We had to change the situation, change, so we had to go with it. And I just needed to do something, and I was a fan of it because it's kind of like the hip hop community in a sense. The barber community is kind of like that. Everything about it is good because I remember going. My mom used to be a stylist. She went to
Okay.
Key Tech at night. One of my old high school, they used to have a program at night. So I used to go with her to these fashion shows. I mean, not hair shows, hair shows, because there was
Hmm.
no barber shows ever. It was always hairstylist shows. There was
Okay.
never barber shows. So it was kind of boring back in that. You're talking early '90s. You're talking like maybe 92, 93,
Hmm.
around that. No, maybe even before that, like maybe 88, 89, 90. So there was, so she would take me to these events, and I'm like, man, these are it's kind of dope. Wow, man, I wish they had like barber stuff. So I was always a fan of barber getting my haircut. I always wanted to be a barber at some point. So then I just started getting clippers. I cut my friends up for free for like 3 years, and then I
Hmm.
started getting nice, and I started getting clientele, and I just started charging. And that's how I was surviving that and working a 9 to 5. I always had a 9 to 5. Always did music pretty much like part time to full time, and then I went full
Yeah,
time for a little bit, and then things changed. I needed a steady kind of income coming in, and I just did what I had to do. But yeah, I'm a fan of barbering. And now the industry of barbering is crazy. Like I just
crazy, right?
yeah, I go to this one that's every year in Connecticut. It's one of the biggest events in the world, pretty much. It's called
Mm.
Connecticut Barber Expo. They do it at the Mohegan Sun now. But like, yo, this dude Jay Majors put it all together, and it's been going on 11, 12 years.
Wow,
It's amazing
great.
from when he started it to where it is now. Barbering in itself, and just
Mhm.
like the barber shows now is just everywhere. Las Vegas, Texas, like Florida, Puerto Rico, like all these places are doing bar. There's more and more, and there's more and more barbers than anything. It's incredible. It's like crazy to see from when it started to where it is now, and it's kind of just like how hip hop, like how it started from when people said it was a fad, and then what it is now. It's in everything. It's in
Now, yeah,
entertainment. It's in
now you want
TV.
to
It's in
mimic it.
movies. It's in everything you could think of. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, just like barbering. It's crazy.
Yep.
And I've done stuff with my man JDO. I've done stuff for him. I've been his DJ. Lee Wilson, was his DJ when I first started. Um, like, and it's just crazy. And he's a barber himself, JDO, and it's crazy. Like he nice too. I got him all over my albums. I've done albums with him, just all my production. It's nice.
Gotta check that. Now I gotta ask this question because I've been seeing it more often. Um, the bald people like myself that are going in the barbershop and getting these hair things put on and they're just getting it finessed where it looks like it's their hair.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's
How do you
crazy.
feel about it?
I I wouldn't do it, but there's people that do, and I mean, it looks good for the camera. Like if they're doing like just for like
Mhm.
just show. I don't know if people really rock it like that, but if they do, I mean, it looks crazy. I've seen them do like it looks
Yeah,
even the fiber stuff and the enhancements. I'm not a fan of enhancements at all, but it's great because some people do it too much. I like the natural thing, but like again, it's cool to see what they come up with, what they do, the creativity of these haircuts, and even styling the cuts, like the way they make it happen
yeah,
is even the designs is next level.
yeah. I feel that from what I've been seeing recently that these barbers have been paying a lot of attention to the market, the women market. To
Yeah,
why not do it for the bald headed men that
and
want
now they
something
got
on there.
now they get the microfiber stuff. So now they're
Hmm.
doing that kind of like it's basically a tattoo of
Yep.
your mind. It's nuts. It's incredible. It's like wow, it's crazy.
Who
It
would have
looks
thought?
real too. It looks so
Yeah,
real.
that's what's
So it's
crazy.
like, yo, it's insane, dude. I'm like, wow, I wouldn't do it personally, but I've
Yeah, I
seen
wouldn't mess
some
with
of
it.
my friends, and I'm like, yo, dude, that looks mad real. That's insane. It's good. It's good money. It's just cool to see like, and the new products they have out, just to and the knowledge they give you. Like I take these classes and the knowledge they get. You don't have to take everything they take, but like you take bits and
Hmm.
pieces and add it to what you're doing, or just something that sticks with you. Like, oh, okay, well, I didn't think of that, or you know what I mean. Just it's kind of
Yeah,
dope. You always learning.
yep. It's amazing. So let's get into production. Did your engineering, spawn from the production,
Um,
or was that more out of necessity?
I always wanted to produce.
Hmm.
Um, so I started in like 2000 learning. My engineer kind of put me onto this program called Reason. It was, I think it was Reason 1.0 at the time. That was the first. That's kind of when Pro Tools came out too. So around 2000. So it's been around 23 years. Um, it actually, what do you call it? It grew too. Like they got so many of them out through them that time span that it just keeps getting better and better. But me, I like simple. So, they say don't mess with mama sauce. I'm kind of the simple because all I need it for is really the production to get it down, the template of it. And then I go
Yeah,
in the studio and I do what I got to do, anyways, with the drops and stuff like that with my engineer. We're kind of
gotcha.
like a team, my man Monty Dale, Graybeard Recording. So we work really well together. He has good ideas. I have a lot of ideas, and just if it works, it works. So that's what I use, and then I use Recycle to cut up samples, and I play stuff by heart. Um, I've done original production, like the one "You Ain't Killing Nothing" by Smith and Wesson on my first producer album, the Getz Collection. That's
Guest
all.
collector. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all original. So
Mm.
I have been known to that, and I do add play stuff on top of samples to just give it
Hmm.
a little extra kick. Um, but yeah, that's my go-to. I like NPCs, but it's not really my thing. Like I like the SB12s. I always was fascinated with stuff like that, but I'm just so comfortable with what I'm doing that I think it would throw me off
Mm.
if I used anything else. That makes sense. Um,
Yeah, it does.
yeah, so I'm just used to it. I've been doing it for so long. It's just something I just keep. I just it's faster. Plus, I could just put bounce them easy. The each track. 'Cause before MPC, you had to do all this extras because it was analog,
Hmm.
and then you had to bounce it fully. Like you had to do all this extra stuff. Now I'm sure it's so advanced. They have computer programs too with the MPC, the Renaissance and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
for the most part, even the native instruments is dope. Um, for the most part, it's just simpler. It's really simplified, and that's all you really kind of need. I mean, the Pro Tools and Cubase or whatever you use kind of takes it to the next level with the plugins, anyways. In my opinion.
cool, cool. Now I want to rewind a little bit because you said you play some instruments. So what instruments are you?
Not really like instrument, but like I'll play like on my MIDI controller.
Okay,
I
all right.
play instruments like that. Not like I know how to play a real instrument. I wish. That'd be nice to know how to play actual live bass or something like that. But my man, my engineer Ronnie Reagan, prodigy man. He could play anything by ear. He could play. He don't even use samples anymore. Like he's so that talented. It's crazy.
Wow.
When I hear his beats, I get inspired because I'm like, dang, you just like shit on my whole catalog. Like what the hell? And that's not just him. Like I'll hear beats from other people from around the way and just inspiration. Like, damn, bro. Even Kamar Wali got some heat, bro. I'm like, wow,
Hmm.
that's incredible, B. Like, shit. Make me want to step up my game, steel sharp and steel, Just make me
Yeah,
want to keep going in. Like if I hear something, I'm like, oh hell no, I gotta do something. And I'll find something or I'll play something from scratch and get some hard drums and just finesse something real quick and stuff like that.
that's dope. Mm.
Yeah, man.
Now you mentioned being with the polo and everything as a teenager. What gained your attention to the whole polo and the
I
low
just
life?
always loved it, and plus,
Mm.
like Ajax Low and everyone, we used to always rock it. I was more a late bloomer with the pieces, but
Hmm.
for the seeing Vic, he would come to my he would come to Framingham because his family lives out here, his sisters, and then he would come and visit, and that's how we basically linked up. Ajax Low introduced me to him, and from there, like we just became friends, real good type friends. He would come to my house. Like I said, my house was the party house. My house was open 24/7. We had like a pool table, bar. Like we had a lot of amenities, and I had the studio there at one point. So he would come and record pretty much his first 7 albums, and my whether he recorded it all there, like or bits and pieces, like fill-ins, like he had to add stuff to it, but he definitely mixed everything there from the Master Fu albums to like Skilligan's Island or all those albums like Philosopher and stuff like that. He would pretty much do most of it there with Ronnie Reagan, my old engineer. And then and then in return, he would teach me some stuff, and then eventually I just went on my own. I started recording our stuff and
Hmm.
learning kind of like to mix here and there, and then just go from there. And then time goes on. If you don't keep up with the technology, it gets old. That's basically what happened.
All right. Hmm. One of your other skills is, and it's a segue, with the low clothing, is a designer.
Yeah. So yeah, I just started. I had my own clothing line because when you go to shows and you take pictures, you wear the same shirt, you look kind of like scrubby. You know what I mean? So I used to go take pictures. So my Ajax Low would tell me, "Yo, you need to take pictures of like all these celebrities that you see or whoever." I wasn't really into that. I'm more like, yo, mentally, yeah, I did that, whatever. But then I just, you know what, I'm gonna do it. So then that's what I started doing. I started taking pictures with people that I was linking up with, going backstage, taking care of the security. So they let me go backstage whenever I need to do what I got to do, like whoever MOP, Omega, whoever, Freeway, whoever I had that was coming in that venue that night. I would link up, inspect the deck, and I would link with them and build with them and whatever, and take pictures and hustle CDs to everyone. Sean Price, all of them, God rest his soul. Rock and all them. Um, yeah, and I would just do my thing, and then I was like, shit, man, I gotta. So I just started designing logos and stuff, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna make some shirts, different designs. I'm gonna do some music,
Hmm.
rapper stuff, and DJ stuff, and barber stuff. And then I just started doing designs, and then I just got a name and went off of that. I just designed the logo for it, and then I just started going from there. And then I just started pressing up shirts and T-shirts and all types of and hats and Scullies and also, and that's where I became the designing. And then I just started designing logos and started designing the Matteo Getz logo, the Ajax Low logo, Kamal Wali logo, DJ Ron G logo. He's a good friend of mine, so and I just started designing. That's how I started. So I would start with a mixtape.
Hmm.
Like say if I did a mixtape, I did the cover 3 times. I did it when I first started. 'Cause I didn't know how to cut out pictures. Then I started learning how to cut out pictures, and then I did that. And then I was, you know what? I'm gonna do it even better. Let me try it. And I tried with one of them, and then I just started redoing every one of them every night. I'll work the night shift and then come in the morning and just start designing every one of them, redesigning every one of them. Then until I got tired, I'm like, damn, that's a lot of work. So I just like, I'm gonna chill. I'm pretty much all of them redone, and then that's how I started designing. Now I do logos, I do posters and
That's
stuff
fire.
like that, and I just kept elevating
Hmm.
as the years was going. So that's pretty much how I started the designing part.
Yeah, that's fire. Now, can you, if you remember, what was your first official production credit?
Probably something I did for Ajax Low, one of his solo. his solo albums. I think it was like Seal of Approval or Homecoming. I forget
Mhm.
which one we put out first. I want to say Homecoming, then Seal of Approval. One of those. He would come down and see me in the studio, and we'd hear a beat I'm making, and then use it, and then we'd put it on that. And at that time, it was basically just on CD because there was no internet. Like I said back
Yeah.
then, you're talking early 2000s, 2001, 2002 ish. So and then from there, just I was worked with a lot of people. I did a whole mixtape album kind of with headshots from Boston. So I would do link up with them and do a whole thing of all over my beats and just keep going, just doing mixtapes and stuff like that. Sprinkle some of our stuff on the mixtapes. Would I do like Onyx and regular stuff like Jay-Z and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Run DMC or whatever. I do an old school one with like Beastie Boys, Run DMC. But then I would sprinkle some of our stuff just to get our stuff out there like that because no one was really putting our stuff out there like on shows and stuff like that, like radio shows and stuff. So I would just do it like that, and then so you'd hear like some Jay Z, and then you'd hear like some Ajax Low or Havoc House or Headshots or whoever I was using at the time, and then I would get CDs from shows, and I would when I was doing the mixtape, I'd check them out, which ones I liked on those CDs. Like, oh, okay,
Right, right.
these are like Branch Davidians at the time was some of Headshots was on that in that group. They broke up, but then somewhere in that group, and then that's I guess when they formed Headshots. But like, yeah, I've done stuff with everyone pretty much. Like KRS One, Smith and Wesson, Shaheem, yeah, Antonio Saldi. I'm twice down. I'm doing stuff with him, doing an
Mm-hmm.
album with him coming up.
Shabam Sadiq.
Shabam Sadiq,
Mm-hmm.
Sadat X, Triple Sace, like so many heads. Like I've done over the years, it's crazy. I've done stuff with Thurston, a lot of stuff with her. Even before this album, I've done like so many stuff. My man Rob Scalas was one of my artists at the time from Lawrence, where lives and stuff like that, and ST. Um, like Rex. I've done stuff with Rex that I haven't
Mm-hmm.
released. That I have
Dope.
Jay the S, like Jake the Snake. I've done stuff with them.
Supernatural.
That's coming up. I'm doing stuff with him
I
soon.
heard, yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to do stuff with him and who else? So many. So many. Lee Will. I've done stuff with Lee Wilson since he started singing, like pretty much. Um, Back in the day, I did stuff with him. Um, who else? Rack Low. I've done stuff with Rack Low. Like endless.
Hmm. Speaking of Racklow, I'm trying to remember one of them early joints I think you did. Um,
Rackamatics.
yeah, was that it?
Yeah, that was that we put that on vinyl. Vic made the beat. Thurston made the beat.
Mm.
Thurston made the beat. I didn't make the
Oh,
beat, and
oh,
then he
you
made the Get a
right.
Life beat. But I did the
The
reverse.
looking at me. That's
Yeah,
right. That's what
looking
it
at
was.
me. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It was kind of like it didn't really fit, but I wanted to put it for some reason at that time. Felt like that was the one. That was like a commercial joint. It was dope too. My man Slink Supreme was on there. Lee Wilson was singing the hook.
yeah. Hmm.
Ajax Low was on there. That was my first vinyl. Yeah, that was like 2001. I I did it myself. I pressed it myself, and then I sold it through Traffic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my man Mal Welch. Shout out to Wet Mal Welch. Yeah, he used to work there at Traffic. I think he still does. I think it's still called Traffic.
Hmm.
He got his new company. Get on down. They're pretty dope.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
support a lot
re-released
of
it. So
people
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. Their site is dope, man. I like this shit. The way they do it, they just re-release and then they do like s- extra
Different
things
types of
like
colors.
toys
Yeah.
and stuff that go with
Mhm.
it or whatever. Like it's crazy. Like they did
Yeah.
a chessboard for liquid swords. Like
I have that.
yeah, yeah, it's dope, man. It's like, dude, that's incredible, bro. Like,
Yep.
and they do a lot of stuff with Czarface.
Yes.
7L and them, yo, they're nasty. They're ill. They like reinvented themselves. I tell them every time when I see them, I'm like, yo, man, y'all reinvented. Yo, this is crazy how, and it's because it's a comic book, so it can keep on going.
Oh yeah. And look
Endless,
out, look
endless.
how look how they expanded. They're at Comic-Con. They got their own sleeping and
Yes,
everything.
it's genius. Yo, they even got the mask, the actual mask.
Yep.
Like it's crazy. Like I'm like, yo, bro. And then they got the sneakers. They did a Saucony joint.
Yep.
I'm like, man, this is incredible, bro. And they're incredible, period. Like performing wise, incredible. Like
Hmm.
7L and Essos.
Who would have thought, right?
I always
Yeah.
thought they were ill back in the day because I used to always see 'em when I was hustling CDs in Middle
Mhm.
East. It was Rex. It was Rex. It was Mike Styles and them. Yeah, I work with Mike Styles. I know Mike Styles forever too. Like I've done stuff with him, and he's been on my album, like a couple of my albums. I spring, like I know him for like 20 some years.
Mhm.
Just like it's crazy. Like Rex and all them, they and the Schizophrenics, they all used to be there. Like every weekend, they would always be there, and I'd just be hustling CDs,
Hmm.
hustling bass, whatever. Crazy. The
I
seven
remember it.
dollars ill. Acrobatic too, man.
Yes.
Acrobatic is
Oh
ill.
yeah.
Even Mr. Lift. Ill.
Yes. Still a fan of his work. Absolutely.
Oh
Yeah.
man, yeah. Acrobatics crazy, bro. His skills is touchless, man. It's untouchable, bro.
Shout out to Mr. Lift's wife, Eternia, another dope MC.
Wow, okay. I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
Yeah. But it's crazy you brought up Czarface because when I first heard 7L Esoteric, the first track was Be Alert. And I was at Fat Beats when somebody was playing.
Wow.
And I was like, what is that? And I had to cop the vinyl that day.
Wow. That's crazy. What's the odds? That's bugged up. Yeah. Acrobatics are ill too, man.
Yeah.
He used to have some joints.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That
man.
Balance album.
All the Boston heads.
Yeah.
Virtuoso, all of them, man. They all got busy.
Yeah. Amazing.
Rick Records was big back then.
Yeah.
Rex was always ill too, man. I always loved Rex's shit.
Always.
Oh, skills is phenomenal. Like it was dope.
Yeah. There's always talent coming out of
Yeah.
Massachusetts. Always.
Yeah, Pangea fam. I rock with them too. True Indeed and all them.
Hmm.
Yeah, Cuban Ref and Diogen. They're ill. They're still doing their thing. It's crazy. They've been around since we've been around. Never stop. You know what I mean? It's great. I got that. I'm doing a what do you call it? EP with Diogen. Crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
What about Loke? I'm sorry, not Loke. Oak Lone Tree.
Yeah, Oak is dope too. Oak and my man D's. Big D's. Yo, he's nice. Yo, he's a problem. But Oak is nice too. I never really worked with him
Hmm.
yet, but yo, he's nice. I never really done a song with Oak, but he's dope. He's real dope. MC. He's been around as long as I have. Um, Same with D's. D's is getting busy. Like they got their new album out. Who done it? The Dunners.
Hmm.
Dope. Um, yeah, just classic old school Boston stuff.
And so before we get into Thoughts Illustrated album, you got to tell us how you met Thurston.
Well, basically, Ajax Low um, introduced me to him around '97. So anytime he would come, I would say, "Yo, man, let me know when he comes out here, and I'll take care of him. Give him um, get him a bottle or whatever." And then I would do my thing. I wouldn't even hang with him. I would just take care of him and leave.
Hmm.
All right, man, I'm out. And then eventually he would just hang with me. He would come to the crib. He came to the crib, and then we just would build and just build as friends. And That's how basically we started our relationship, friends first, and then little by little, he would see that we were getting busy. We didn't even ask him to get on nothing. Like we were just doing our thing. Like as we're chilling, like I would record them. They would get in the booth. Jax Low would just get in the booth and do his thing. Kamal Waleed, Father Time, Blind Drifter, they're all part of Havoc House. Um, God forbid, which is that handsome devil, my man Chris. So they would all just get in there and do. We would do our thing, and he would see it, and then he would jump on joints, songs, whatever hooks. That's how it basically happened. And then I would let him do his thing with his records, his albums, record in my studio and stuff like that. And that's how we basically met. And then we just became good friends into like partners and doing music. And then for a long time, I was on the back burner, just probably just building my working on my talent. My what do you call it? Just working on my music. My production, getting it right, and then eventually around I think it was 17, I was like, yo, it's time for me to show my production skills, like producing all the records, like doing EPs, doing albums with certain people. That was my thing. I wanted to do albums with certain, like just one type of group, all production by me, scratches by me, cuts by me, whatever, excuse me. And then I just came to him and said, yo, man, I think we should do an album together. I think it would be real dope. You got your fan base. I got kind of my fan base. It's not as much as his, but it's something.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it'd be great because I think we work well because you sound good over my beats. You've done it in the past, so I think. And then he just was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And then he wanted to make it about me, for showing my production skills and what I bring to the table. And then we both had ideas on who we wanted. Like I wanted Rock on there. I always wanted to do a song with Price, but you know, didn't happen in the timely manner. So I reached out to him personally. I reached out to Smooth personally. He reached out to Hurricane G, God rest her soul. I never got to meet her, but like she did two joints on the album. Um, he reached out to a couple other head like AG, Ugg. He got Ugg on there. Like he got a couple. We basically both kind of put it to who we kind of wanted.
The Buse brothers.
Yeah, and the Booze Brothers. I never met them, but I was a fan of them
Yeah,
from
they're dope.
their work. It's dope, man. They're dope. Like at King Arthur kind of put me on to them. Like,
Mm.
oh, they're dogs. Like, oh shit. And then I just started like listening and like, oh, these dudes are nice. That just happened. He just put them on there. I didn't even know. And then a couple people he put on. I was like, oh shit, all right. And then it just worked out. It was probably like a 4 or 5 year process. Just
Mm.
him picking the beats,
Yeah.
um, getting the people to do whatever they had to do, sending us the stuff, mixing it down, executing how we wanted to execute it, and put it out there. When, where, what, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, I think it really is a good album collectively through all of us, like that was involved. Um, the beats are hard. It's like
Mm.
a '90s vibe, which is what kind of my style is, like a '90s universal style. Like I like all sounds. If that makes sense, like all different type of sound. Like it could be anything, and I'll make it into something. And it just worked out. His rhymes is undeniable. Anyways, like he
Always.
always comes with the pressure. So he killed it.
Yep.
Everyone on it killed it. Like my favorite joint is the one with Rock, the Lows and Cons. That's my favorite. That and the first one with him and Smooth the Hustler going back and
Oh,
forth.
Brownsville
Brownsville
legend. Yeah.
Legend with my man DV Alias
Yeah.
Christ.
Yep.
Price is ill, anyways. Like, yo, it just his voice, man. It's just like Rock, his voice too.
Yep.
It's incredible. Like, you don't get too many people in hip hop period that have that voice that are like, yo, distinct voice that like you can't. No one can reproduce that. Like,
Not at all.
It's it's incredible. Like he killed the hook, he killed his verse. Like plus they got history, Decepticons and Lowline. Like it's kind of
Hmm.
dope, man. It's a good concept. Just the whole album, everything about it was dope.
What what I noticed, throughout the years of listening to Thurston and learning more about you through this interview is the two of you have a certain meticulous way of how you create your music. It's not just thrown out there. And I feel that sometimes people didn't take Thurston too seriously because of his album covers, but when you listen to that music, I mean, he can be humorous, but he got the bars all the time to back up.
Yeah, he got
Hmm.
funny, straight skills, like just like chop your head off, shit. Like he's crazy, man. He's so talented, it's incredible. Super talented dude. Grateful to be a part of the journey with him. Um, Being a friend, not only just a friend, just now we're like partners in this. It's just there's more to come. So
Always great to hear that.
yeah, man.
There's two videos out right now, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
You got the Whatever Mommy one, a joint with Hurricane G, and
yeah.
then what was it? What was the other one? It was the one that came out before that.
I can't remember which one it was. Mommy was and damn, what was the other one?
What was the other one?
It was the one with the skate park. Oh, man.
Oh, it was a Thirsty Giant
Yeah,
Master.
30 Giant Masters. Yeah,
Master Ace, that's right.
yeah. And we got the other one dropping soon too. I forget which one he wants to do, but we got another one dropping soon.
Dope.
Yeah, man. Only more to come, buddy. Got some heat.
If we play one of those, which one would you like me to play for those two music videos?
Of the whatever mommy wants us though.
Okay,
That's a good one right there.
get that up real quick.
She killed it.
Yeah.
She killed both of them. She killed the cages too. No cages.
Yeah.
Jackson Kamara on there. Crazy.
Yeah, about to get up on my Caribbean shit. Yo, I want to give a motherfucking shout out to Pollo Tropical. Boom! Whatever mommy wants, then mommy gonna get it. Long as nobody fronts, then nobody gotta get it.
Whatever Bobby wants, then Bobby's gonna get it. Long as nobody fronts, then nobody's gotta get it.
I bring her chocolate, flores y aparte, calling me a hothead, neighborhood gossip. Oye, no lo hice, you know I'm something decent. Nasty motherfucker, puro Puerto Rican, running through the jungle and the swamp. You know my queen, I bring you what you want. Diamond gold, so lost, old stolen hearts. Nothing that can break us both apart. Better than I, cause you're most beautiful and you're smart. Even when you're swimming with the sharks. Moño with the moño and the scarf. She sleeps to the beat of my heart, you already know. Mommy wants, then mommy gonna get it. Long as nobody fronts, then nobody gotta get it.
Whatever Bobby wants, then Bobby's gonna get it. Long as nobody fronts, then nobody's gotta get it. What you see is what you get. Give me love, show respect, and maybe let's keep living life with no regrets. I got you, Bobby. I'm your queen and loyal wifey. Make you feel divinely. Keep it sweet and spicy. Give me a chance to enhance and stimulate your medulla. Rock
fronts when nobody gotta get it.
Whatever Bobby wants, then Bobby's gonna get it. So as nobody fronts, then nobody's gonna get it.
Whatever mommy wants.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And can we talk about how diverse your production is? Because it's not just what you sample; it's that end product. And this album, definitely gives that, um, shows what you're capable of.
Right. I was trying to show like all different styles I could do. Like that's a reggae joint I took years ago. Um, just cut it up and finessed it. I just try to show different styles, like try to show a universal style of what I can do, but kept it '90s and kept it in my lane. Not try to follow what's going on. Like I never really did that. Like a lot of producers do that, which is
Hmm.
cool. Nothing wrong with it. But it's me. I just stay in my lane and just keep doing what I've been doing and not just stray from because it's what's going on right now or whatever. I just keep sticking with what I'm used to, just go in that direction and go full throttle.
I feel that definitely. You're the Matt Cave. How long has that been established?
It's been a long time. I haven't had a studio in a long time, but
Mm.
yeah, I had it for like probably 15 years, 10, 15 years. Um, like I said, everything got old. Now I use a studio. I rent it out,
Hmm.
and my man on Graybeard Studios in Framingham, Mass. And I just go there. It's simpler. It's easy. Just book the time and just knock it out. Have him do, tell him what I want, stuff like that. And he has good ideas too. So we're like kind of like a team, like a production
Hmm.
team almost, as far as the mixing goes, and doing I do all the drops, so pretty much all the drops. But this album was mixed by my original engineer, Jeremy Page, aka Ronnie Reagan. He also played instrumentation on it.
Hmm.
So if you hear anything, you'll hear a couple songs that he played some stuff to it that wasn't originally there. So he added on to it. But he pretty much mixed and mastered the whole album.
Okay. Dope, dope. And what else was it? Uh, Getz Productions. How how long has that been established? And is
That's
that
been established like 20 years,
okay?
23 years. So since like 2000. I used to be called Get a Life ENT Entertainment. We used to have that for a while. Uh, maybe like, yeah, about 20 years. We cut it off around 2002, 2003.
Hmm.
Yeah, 20 years. We've been rocking with guest productions. Basically, just wanted to switch it up, go in a different direction. Kind of like grew out of that Get a Life ENT stuff. Just wanted a fresh start. And basically, me, Ajax Low, is Gets Productions, and we have like Kamal Wali that does stuff with us too. We're like all three of us kind of just keep it going, keep it moving. He does stuff with other artists and he does a lot of production. And then me and Ajax Low, we got a bunch of albums we're doing. We just dropped we're dropping the Indigo Jackson 2 on July 4th. So we just put that together, featuring my nephew G700. So we're introducing him. It's real banger. He got a banger on there. It's dope. It's a part two. So the first one was real dope too. It was like kind of like it's not soulful, but like hard hitting beats. They're kind of soulful beats or whatever. And then just like Jackson. Ajax Low going in with a couple features, and then we just also dropped Symbiotic Souls. It's a soulful album with all production from all different people from around that Ajax Low um, worked with. I got a banger. I got number two. I produced number two on there. Um, I just keep knocking out albums. I'm gonna re-release all the songs that we did in 2000, remaster them and put them as albums. I got 6 Degrees of Matteo Getz EP I'm doing, dropping next. I got at least 3 volumes of old records that I produced.
Yeah.
I'm a remaster from the 2000. I mean, I have endless joints, endless like that never got heard. I mean, if they did, they were on a CD, and that was where it was at. Other than that, on the internet, nothing. So I'm gonna put it on, internet, iTunes, all that stuff, all the platforms, and then just keep going and do. I got, like I said, I got a EP with Etel. I got an EP album with Twice Now from RSO, Antonio Saldi. So I'm doing stuff with him. Supernatural. We're gonna get together and do some stuff with him.
Yeah,
Kamar Wali, me and him doing an album. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I got some stuff up my sleeve, so yeah, man.
And you did mention before you got something with Diogen as well, right?
Diogen, yep. I got an
I'm sorry,
EP.
Diogen.
Yeah, I got an EP with him that's coming out. And then I got a couple more producer albums I'm gonna be putting out. It's gonna be crazy.
Man.
Yeah, my EP 6 Degrees of Matteo Guess is gonna be crazy.
Man.
I'm working on that right now.
With your wealth of experience and talents, what type of how would I say words of wisdom would you give an upcoming artist or producer or DJ?
Stay consistent, don't give up, and just keep going. Just stay in your own lane. Don't worry about what comes like in that like what happens like in that era. Like if something new comes, don't try to follow it. Just keep doing what you're doing because kind of water yourself down doing that as a producer or whatever. So just stick with what you're doing. Just keep going and don't stop.
There you go.
Keep putting out content, whether it's videos, songs, singles, albums, EPs, whatever have you. Just stay consistent.
There you go. Appreciate that. Definitely. I'm sure anyone that is listening or will listen in the future definitely take those words and go with it.
Yeah.
You got a lot of work that I'm anticipating that you spoke of on this interview today.
Yeah, man. It's gonna happen. You'll see. It's gonna be real interesting.
Any shows that you have coming up?
No, I don't have any shows going on. We did one in 2018. I put one together, but I haven't put one together since. It's a lot of work. Sometimes a lot of headache. But yeah, but other than that, nah, we don't have nothing coming up. I mean,
okay.
If the opportunities approach themselves, yeah, no, most likely we'll do them. But yeah, we don't have nothing planned in the future, right? As of now.
Okay. Now I have a few of Thurston's albums on CD, so I have to ask: is it possible that there's going to be a physical release for the album?
We're trying to work that out now. We'll see what happens. Maybe eventually, if we might do it out of pot, I don't know. Still in talks with it, but I would like to do a vinyl release. But we'll see. Everything's all in talks. Trying to find the right home for it.
Yeah. Trying to remember the last Thurston album I bought on vinyl. I think it was a few years ago. What was it?
Really?
Oh, I know what it was. It wasn't a Thurston album. He was on there if I remember correctly. It was the Polo Palace joint with
Okay.
the UK artist
Oh, okay.
Juggernaut and the Fly Hooligan.
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. Wow, that's crazy. Shit, I think I only have one of my vinyls from the Get a Life one. I think I
Mhm.
have one left. I found one. I said, "Oh
Okay.
man, this is a classic." Crazy.
I might have that. I have to go.
Wow.
If I do have it, I'll post it up on my IG and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
I
That's
gotta go check
crazy.
because I got records, behind me, and I got
Yeah.
records in my parents' attic, and I got some stuff in the storage too. So
Yeah, mine is ruined. Mine is ruined. They've been in basements. The mildew on it. Yeah, it's crazy.
dude,
And I had doubles at everything.
oh
I used to grab
yeah,
doubles at every full album. You know how much they were back in the day? Well, now they're
yeah,
more.
they were like less
Now
than
they're like
$10.
40. Yeah, now they're like $20. But back
Yeah,
then they were like $20. Now they're like 40 and more.
yeah,
Incredible.
yeah.
I used to grab doubles at everything. I used to go to Rock and Soul, get them in like 5 minutes. They're like, "You sure you got everything?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." They're like, "You sure?" I said, "Yeah, I'm good. I got doubles at everything. I'm straight." They're like, "All right." I would just drive. Same with Biscuit Head. I used to just buy doubles everything every week. I used to go there weekly. Crazy.
Yeah, rock and soul. I used to
Yeah,
go
Rock
to
and Soul. I used to go to Rock and Soul all the time.
Music Factory, Beat Street, and Fat Beats. What's the other place? A1.
Yeah, I never been to A1. I think
Yeah,
I went to Fat Beats once, but I never been to any other spot in New York. Rock and Soul was my joint because I knew where it was. It was like
mhm.
right near Manhattan, kind of in the cusp of Manhattan, somewhere around there. I remember like, oh, this place is dope, and I would just go and they get all the white label.
Mhm.
White label is the shit, bro.
Yeah,
I used to love white label. Like, oh man, this
all the
is crazy.
exclusive stuff,
Yeah,
instrumentals.
all that. Yeah, you
Getting
can't do
anywhere.
it no more. Yo, they were doing so much of it. It was crazy, and I was like,
Yep.
how are they getting it this fast?
Yeah,
And pressing them.
yep.
Like, how did like it takes forever to get a vinyl pressed up? Like they were getting it pressed up like nothing. Like yo, like weekly. Like what? This is insane.
Got to be in somebody's basement somewhere.
Yeah, I got mad white label. It's probably ruined, but I got mad white label so much. Oh, there was another place called Funky Fresh in Boston. Another
Funky Fresh.
spot,
Okay.
Funky Fresh Records, right near Ruggles. One of them projects called It was near Dorchester. I think it's Dorchester. Yeah, near Ruggles. That's what they called it. Where Ed OG's from.
Hmm.
Down the street. I think I went there once. And that was it. But yeah, Biscuit Hill was easy because it was right there. It's right off the pike. It's right near Tremont. It's not Tremont Street. Is it Tremont Street? It's right. It's right where Virgin Records was. Tower Records. It's right in that corner where Tower Records was. It's like off the street. It was perfect.
Yeah, I've only been to Massachusetts twice.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like early 2000s. Because I used to go to car shows along the East Coast. Used to drive
Oh,
to.
really?
Yeah,
Interesting. That's crazy.
dope.
Wow.
And Matteo Getz,
My man.
the album, Thoughts Illustrated.
Yes, sir.
y'all definitely need to go check it out if you haven't. And I'm put the link up for that right now. And I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, bro.
Let me know the history of Framingham as well as your upcoming. So definitely I enjoy hearing that, and then just know more about the new album as well.
Likewise, man. I appreciate you having me on. It's been fun. Yeah, man. I mean, anytime, man. Let me know. And yo, take a picture if you got that record, man. Take a picture.
Yeah,
Post that.
I'm gonna look forward this weekend because
Yeah,
I know
tag me in it.
I know it's not behind me. So it's, like I said, it's either in storage or at my parents' attic.
Wow, that's dope. That's crazy. I appreciate everything, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Buy the album, Thoughts Illustrated, out now, available on all platforms.
There you go. Yes,
Oh,
indeed.
man.
And the floor is yours. Give your shout outs and let
Yeah,
them know
shout
what
out to Ajax Low, the whole Havoc House, Kamal Wali, Thurston Howell III, the Low Lifes, King Arthur, Diogen, Antonio Saldi. That's it, man. Just check out the albums. We got videos. I got videos on my YouTube. Everything at Matteo Getz. All social media, YouTube. Check out Ajax Low. Anything at Ajax Low. And yeah, look out for the new album, Indica Jackson 2, dropping July 4th. It's a banger.
Dope, man. And on behalf of our entire HHDG Media Inc. crew, we're gonna say peace.
Peace.